The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. In the year of our Lord 1197, 5 Canaanites were sent to the lands beyond the forest to serve those who ruled Transylvania. With their diplomacy, they were granted a city to rule as they see fit. With their strength, they solidified control and protected their domain from invaders. With their knowledge, they ruled for 2 centuries of relative Canaanite peace. But they cannot stop the prophecies, for the ancient war, all but forgotten, stirs afresh. And those whom you have cursed to save yourself shall break free of their bonds at last. Welcome to the Transylvania Chronicles. Welcome to our Vampire Dark Ages stream. We here at McStabber Studios understand that some of the subjects that come up during this chronicle are problematic by modern standards. Our goal is to handle these kinds of situations in a manner that does not directly or indirectly glorify these kinds of actions. While we understand that we are playing in a world of monsters, that does not mean we must be the monsters ourselves. Please also be aware, none of our cast are experts in history. That means there will be some deviations between the real world timeline and the vampiric world. You can go ahead and chalk that up to the Canaanite influence on the mortals around them. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy our story. Well, until your children eat you, and then, you've got totally different problems.
Why it helps that, my children like their mother.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to McStabber Studios, Vampire Glimpses of History. I am the storyteller tonight, Shanky McStabber.
And I am Mama McStabber, and tonight I am playing Olga of Kiev, the patron saint of revenge, widows, and converts of Clan La Sombra.
Hello, I am Bistrus, and I'll be playing Yves Marchand, the French toreador.
I'm Junie Vanesh, and I am playing Peregrine, or just known as Gwen, of unfortunately Clan Assamite.
Such shade. Hi, I'm Maddox, and once again in this lovely dark age, reprising my role as Snatcher, the Nosferatu.
Hello, everybody. I am the Revenus Archon, and today I get to play. It is an odd-numbered season, so my title has increased. But I'll be playing Agustín Diego de Cartagena, Cardenal de la Cruz, Primera Espada de Valencia, Guardia Real de Aragona, Barcelona, Estrategia Principal de Belgrad, Maestro de Sombra e Oscuridad, also of Clan La Sombra.
Dear God.
Give him another couple centuries, he'll just be the titled one.
The title. That's what I'm going for.
Dear God, man.
Wait till I create my own 6th level discipline. I'm going to be obnoxious.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody, to Season 5, Vampire Dark Ages, Glimpses of History, also known to many as the Transylvanian Chronicles. Transylvania is once again under assault, this time by the armies of the Ottoman Empire. 19 years have passed since the Turks conquered Constantinople, and during that time, the Sultan Mehmed II has repeatedly sent his armies on raids into Eastern Europe, preparing the Bulgarians, Transylvanians, and Hungarians for conquest and subjugation. Western Europe is too demoralized to launch another crusade against the Turks, especially after the disastrous anti-Ottoman campaigns. The last times the Europeans assaulted the Middle East, it resulted in the death of Janos Hunyadi by plague and the defeat of Vlad Tepes, the son of the dragon. In fact, Vlad was eventually captured by the Hungarians and falsely imprisoned for allegedly aiding the Sultan's cause. Now, it is 1472, and the mortal Dracula has been released from captivity. His trusted ally, Prince Stephen of Moldavia, has bargained for his freedom, and King Matthias Corvinus of Hungary now believes that Vlad Dracula could be Eastern Europe's last hope for retaking Constantinople. But while imprisoned in the fortress of Visegrad, Dracula had the occasion to meet with visitors to the king's summer home. Some Hungarian nobles profess that the man once known as Vlad the Impaler has changed because he has converted to Catholicism and even married the king's sister. And this is where we're opening up in the year 1472. The coterie has gathered because you have received a courier to your city announcing that you are going to have a visitor coming. Tiberu is en route with a message. So, obviously, some courtesies were paid because you were notified before he showed up in your domain, not after.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm turning it over to the group as you're awaiting Tiberu to come and be brought to you.
Do you care to wager that Tiberu is going to bring a missive that Radu wishes us to attend him at his little fortress that we built the foundations of, since he's
No.
lost his city?
Now, why would we go and make bets that we're obviously going to lose?
I know. Why doesn't he move his ass over to us? We still have a city to hold.
But that would actually require him to have a working brain cell, which I don't think he has, nor is he
Idiot
used
man.
in a couple centuries.
Is he still considered Zemisi if he has no lands of his own?
Technically, Tahuda Pass is lands of his own.
Mhm.
Still. But
Kinda
he
like-
doesn't control Bistrus.
Kind of regret putting that stuff together for now and for him.
No. It got us the city.
Aye, but I wish I'd put something in place so that we could just it all come tumbling down.
We will do no such thing. Zelios put his soul into that work.
I said I
Unfortunately,
wish I had. Let's see what I'm gonna do.
And it is beautiful work.
Sorry, Augustine, what were you gonna say?
no, it is true that we shouldn't devolve ourselves to baser threats of that kind. Although Ragu is very difficult to deal with, we have earned a mutual back and forth with him, I think.
Almost certainly.
He owes us, and we have some favors that we must pay out at some point. So this is one of those. I considered it.
How do we don't list favors? We don't know many more, do we?
But I have many friends among the Simitsi.
As I.
So
Oh, well,
I've met
yes, we
some-
all.
Right.
I didn't know we owed him anything, Liz. I thought we were free and clear of him, is what I'm trying to say. So he would be owing us a boon.
correct.
Okay.
But
Good
also,
mathematics.
if the other Simitsi see that we are going to his aid, it looks more favorably upon us.
Perhaps. Depends on which side of the war they are on. The Anarchs will see us as a target for aiding him,
Mhm.
while as they are starting to call themselves Old World Zemis, would appreciate the fact that we honor their traditions.
It is impossible to cater to dragons.
Damned if you
Aye.
do, damned if you don't.
Exactly.
Aye.
Exactly. It has been, 16 years since the last raid on our city?
Aye.
It's like yesterday.
I've made sure I have more fortifications for y'all.
It was after the first one that I embraced Ibrahim.
How's that going?
He's taken to it well. He is more physically minded than than dear Gran, but he is an interesting childer.
I am proud of you for not sticking to, I would say, the lower caste of peasantries.
He was dying. It was either embrace him or let him die. And in his eyes, I saw a will to live.
Innocent.
Easy enough.
My priest, Grigor, is doing well. He's decided to take on the holy name of Pavel while he works from the shadows within the church. The Serbian Orthodoxy is thriving.
Isilda, amongst the orphanage, does seem a lot of potential and creativity in the children that she was teaching. So I'm hoping some sort of future, a beautiful future, will spring up.
Everyone's criteria for embrace, for siring any childer is going to be different. And the first one very rarely seems to be what you would expect of yourself.
I don't think so. My first one was exactly what I wanted it to be.
Yes, but you're a La Sombra. I highly doubt you would have done so without a plan anyways.
You win this round, my friend.
Has to be the right one, though. Maybe as these children age, it will be a shining one. So.
You have time, regardless.
Yeah. There is no rush.
No, there isn't.
I will say that my lady in Shelazina's court has sent word that there is talk amongst the towns in Wallachia that they truly hope that Vlad Tepes will be their hero to unify their home and stand against the Turks.
Last I'd heard, the Zamisi were hoping to bring him into the fold, were they not?
From what I understand, there are some who think that it would be good to do. Those are the ones with a semblance of intelligence. There are others that feel he is too great of a threat. I am familiar with that. I was traded off because I was considered that.
I'd say go jump it. Take him. Why not?
He is not La Sombra from what I have seen. And if he accomplishes what he seeks to accomplish, he would... While I'm not saying he would necessarily make a poor La Sombra, he would make a far better dragon.
And even contested, any amount of claim a Zamisi lays to someone is not someone you wish to take.
Not something I wish to do. No.
I almost want to see the war that would break out if Ventrue claims him.
Oh, have you not heard what he's been doing to Ventrue that come across Wallachia?
That is the irony of the situation.
Sure. Embracing out of spite.
As a revenant, he has been destroying them.
All it takes is one Ventrue to be brave enough or stupid enough.
Or stupid enough.
Oh, I'd definitely be stupid.
I feel that would lead to Transylvania drowning in blood when it is already soaked.
I dare say saturated.
The demon would be happy at least.
The rivers will rolling and red.
Speaking of storyteller, how has the whole Kupala's Night stuff been going? Is it picking up? Is it slowing down? Is there any major changes from it?
It has been increasing. It has now become a monthly thing rather than a yearly thing.
Ooh.
Yes. And it is now being held not far from the Cathedral of Flesh to try to hold it at bay.
course.
Naturally.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And as you have a pause here in the conversation, one of the servants comes in. Lords and ladies, that there is a rather scruffy-looking man who's come to the gate asking to see you. It says his name is Tiberu.
Yes, please show him courtesy and escort him to us.
Of course. And the servant leaves the room to go and fetch him. It's just a few minutes before they come back. And as he steps in, he's still kind of what you remember. He's tall, pale, scarred. He does appear to be a little worse for wear than when you last saw him. He still has his flowing dark hair that flows behind him, but his eyes are now bloodshot. His skin is a lot more pallid. There's a more feral look in his eyes.
Does it... I'm not sure exactly how I discern this, but is there a way for me to tell if it looks like his road has maybe degenerated a little or anything in that nature?
Well, I would assume if he's on the road to humanity, yes. But unfortunately, most of the gangrel do not follow the road to humanity.
His beast would just make him feral anyways.
As they increase in the road of the beast, they become more and more beast-like.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, he may be higher on his road if he follows the road of the beast.
So it's all dependent on his road then. Okay.
Yes. And as he steps in, he does a low bow to everybody and then pulls a rolled up scroll from his belt.
Olga indicates to Peregrine.
She'll actually walk over and offer to take it for him.
And the scroll is sealed with the wax seal of Prince Radu. And he bows. I will allow you to read this in peace, and I will wait outside for your response to this letter.
Aye, thank you.
Do you need refreshment?
No, I will not trouble you or your city.
All right, then. We do offer hospitality.
I thank you, and my master thanks you.
Understood.
And he steps outside the room to give you peace to read this letter. And when you open it, I've added it to the player's handout section for the 4 players section of the book, but I'll also read it here. It starts off, Princes of Belgrade. I hope this letter finds you well and that my courier held courteous manners within your domain. Rather than fill this letter with diplomatic platitudes, I will come straight to the point. Transylvania is at a turning point in its history. I am sure by now you have heard of the coming gathering of prominent Cainite princes and courtiers being hosted by Prince Otto of Hermstadt. I would like to personally discuss this meeting with you and, if your goals and mine align as I suspect they do, give you the right to speak as my proxy in this matter. I am sure our combined voices should be enough to prevent any hasty actions from the more hot-headed members of my clan. If you agree to a face-to-face meeting, Tiberu has been instructed to bring you to Castle Bistrus and to Huda Pass with utmost haste, and has given his blood oath to protect you from harm during your journey. It's signed your friend and ally, Count Radu.
I'm sorry, was it always named Castle Bistrus, or is that a recent development?
Oh, that's been since he lost his city.
Of course.
He was ruler of Bistrus.
Mm-hmm.
Was.
Correct.
Yes.
It is like Alexandria. The Alexander named many cities Alexandria, so everyone could say that they were the best at whatever it was in Alexandria.
Also,
So you could, even if he was in a shack, it would still be Castle Bistrus, I think.
He wants to
Friend.
discuss this matter with him, and we'd be his proxy.
Yes, to be able to use his authority amongst the other Zamis.
In his domain,
And some
not
of the
ours.
Ventru that he's connected to as well. Because As much as we have been building, he has built longer than we have.
I know. I just
Uh,
hmm.
A deficit of
worried.
time, nothing we had control over.
Exactly.
Oh, I know.
He was
I'm not
already
jealous.
well connected when we first met him.
I
Correct.
understand. I'm just the word choices in this.
Oh, yes, I understand. He is arrogant.
Mhm.
He
My
is.
dad love to pull that head out of that huge arse.
Meh.
Don't think you
I
have the
tend to
strength for
think
it.
that ones like that usually find that all on their own.
Mhm.
Just give
I
it enough
know.
time. Why
And
dirty your hands with it?
And recall, he is a Zamisi. He could probably just put his head right back if you removed it.
That's true.
The greatest takeaway that I heard is that he still thinks that he has enough power to call us out of our domain.
Aye.
But by the same token, he does acknowledge that he is greatly reduced in his power if he is asking for proxies such as us.
Yeah,
Correct.
indeed. He
So it is-
recognizes he needs power to assert his
Yes.
own.
Yes. With all of us unified with him in the proceedings, we will be at equal standing with the other leaders present,
Yes.
Correct.
which is a
Very-
nuisance for us, but I suppose there are worse politics to be involved in.
This
Aye, but at
is-
this time, our city being undefended, or at least not having us here to defend it.
We can have our child there keep eyes on things.
It could be a ploy. I see what you are getting at, Peregrine.
Aye.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, you all did hear of this supposed meeting that is to be held in Hermstadt by Prince Otto. Snatcher heard of it through his different information that comes about there.
Snatcher would have also informed you all that Prince Otto is not actually Prince Otto, but he didn't tell you who Prince Otto was. But he said, that's an impersonator. Don't worry
I will
about it.
also say, now, as far as Enox, I can't speak to that. Augustine, that is more your specialty. However, what I have gotten from Sophia, which is now under Ottoman control, is I still have some revenants in that city. They are not coming back right away. The losses they suffered the last time they came for us has caused a political rift in the empire. They see the double failure as the Sultan's failure. So they are not coming back just yet. It has lowered morale of their troops.
We could make a show of us leaving then, and I could send a word to my proxies that we are going to Sofia to show with a show of force to reclaim it. That way, if anyone was thinking of coming here, they would go and try to stop us on the way.
South of here.
Aye. I like this idea.
And it's not as if we're entirely abandoning the city. William can practically run the underworld on his own now.
Gregor has well command of the church, and thus the souls and hearts of the populace that worship there.
He's all the to make sure the children are safe as well.
I trust any of your lot, Peregrine, to completely know what to do. They are vastly educated.
I wouldn't know what you're referring to, Snatcher. She just gives you a wink.
Very well. I'll send the word out to my agents.
Funny.
Excellent.
I used to always look forward to going out on the road, but ever since, I'm just still hesitant to leave things behind, even with that political rift.
I agree.
Oh, I know it's just a stay before the next siege. A new sultan will rise once this one is no more. And they will try again under a new sultan.
Can we just end it and end the line of sultans? Sorry.
Seems
But-
like far too much work for us.
Peregrine,
Yeah.
have you not heard who is controlling these sultans?
No,
would
I
assume-
haven't.
I would have assumed that it would have been someone from your clan. No?
Look, all I know is what I thought of my clan. It is not what I thought it was anymore.
I can assume that things have changed for you, yes?
Greatly. The reason why I went home for a bit.
Oh, the tunnels were brilliant.
Oh, thanks. If you've ever wanted to know how it feels to have your heart cut out of your body and be completely betrayed, I'll let you know. No problem. I'll give you great detail.
Did you forget who our sire is?
Oh, yeah. Well, your sire, please pretend he likes you. I don't even know my sire exists anymore.
I've never seen that face of his.
Oh, well,
And
I put blood,
I'm not
sweat, and
even
tears
worried
in
about
my
the
clan.
sire. He's an idiot, man. Have you
No,
not? Do you not remember my history?
But when it comes
I
to me,
understand betrayal. I also I also repay it exquisitely.
but I'm not you. That's a problem.
But
Good woman.
okay, so you get word out to your agents, Augustine.
Of course.
I will advise my childer here in the city what he must do, and those with young here in the city, advise them what they must do. And Gwen, please advise Tibaru. We will do so as soon as our arrangements are made.
And it seems
Hi.
he will be returning with us.
Mm-hmm.
Gwen will go out and tell Tilborough.
Tibaru is waiting outside. Do you have a message for my lord?
I will come.
I have a carriage ready when you are ready to depart with some of the robust horses at our command. We should be able to make the trip in record time.
That would be appreciated. More so
Just
than not.
let me know when you're ready to leave.
Yeah, we've got some preparations. Once we're done, we'll be off.
I will get a room in one of the inns where my horses will be stabled, if I can keep them from eating the other horses.
I'll have a special a special place for them to be put. Do they need any specifics?
No, but they are feisty, and if not handled by somebody they know, they tend to eat them.
Well, that's delightful. Okay, I will have a special. You know what? I'll just you come
If
with
you
me.
have a dedicated stable that I can put them in, it would be much appreciated.
I have a dedicated stable. I have a place especially for our esteemed guests, so that no sun comes through. If you know what I mean, you'll be safe.
And Gwen, I will point out, the previous times you've met him, he has not been nearly as courtly as he is now.
Got it. He's being
Normally, he
polite.
still has a lot of rough edges, and every other time you've met him, he has not been very courtly at all. He's been pure gangrel.
He got some polish on him.
Though he still does not look like he does.
He looks like shit.
And he turns and waits for the servant to come get him to escort him back out of the castle.
And she'll tell the servant exactly where to go and where to put him and
Okay.
his horses. Yeah, she'll take care of all that. And then she'll come back in going, well, he's learned some manners.
Oh, that's an improvement.
He's not as, shall we say, rough as he used to be.
He looks it.
Nothing quite like Zami's conditioning.
He says he's got spatial horses, if you know what I mean. as
Mhm.
well as he's got a carriage and all of that stuff ready for us when we're ready to go.
Yes.
I put him up. He's fine.
Okay. I will
Does
send the word
Snatcher
out.
have animals that he uses for messages?
Rats. There's always rats now. Like
Okay.
his breeding program has become rather robust.
Then she has written a missive for Grigor to have a rat delivered to him at the
Okay. What's the missive say?
It basically advises him he will need to ensure that the city is stable and that the people are saved if any attacks occur.
Okay.
That I will be gone for some time on a trip to Tahuta Pass.
And
Grandma
for
was
Snatch,
good. Go ahead.
no,
Go ahead.
you go first.
Oh, Gwen's just going to go to her nieces and nephews because she's known as an aunt rather than a mom. And she's going to just be known, Anne has to go away. Keep everything locked down tight. Watch for things. Anything happens, you know exactly what to do.
And Snatcher just informs both his childer through the rats and then William, his ghoul, as well. Just take no risks. If things go wrong, protect, defend, retreat, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Eve will want to talk to Isolde, his ghoul. One of his ghouls is favorite ghoul. To just just tell her where we're heading, and if anything happens, here are these safe locations. If need be safe.
Okay.
And his other goal is just his personal guard, because he's not much of a combatant. Gordon, his personal bodyguard, should come along with him.
Okay.
On my way to talk to Janos about the meeting with the Anarchs, I am going to use Chimera, my chemistry 2 power, to summon my Anarch, because there no mention of line of sight in the power. So, storyteller, correct me if I'm wrong. I can just use it over distances to make the illusion happen.
I believe also possessing those powers that you do actually have to perceive the space somehow, either by touch or feel or some way to know roughly what's in it. Like you can't make a coin in a box if you can't see inside the box.
Yeah, you have to be able to see where you're making the image.
Okay. That makes it a lot less powerful as far as summoning people.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to kill your fun.
No,
I did not mean
it's
to.
fine. It's fine. I was just like, ooh, I can just summon people by making them feel like a ring has appeared on their finger. That's fantastic.
Well, I have summon, which I can summon anyone that I've ever met.
Yeah, no, that's flashy, and I don't need that.
Okay.
But I'll go talk to Janos to prepare him for the meeting with the Anarchs, and then I'll send a missive to my Anarch agent.
The dead Janos, according to history.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who is my ghoul?
Oh yes, there's a lovely burial site. Honoring him. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah, I made sure he was well taken care of in the afterlife.
Yes.
Okay.
Good Orthodox funeral for him.
Oh, he was governor of Hungary at the time, so he's got a nice big tomb over there too.
A big tomb over there. Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
Funny. So does Olga back in Kiev.
Yeah.
They now have statues of her in certain places.
So with your preparations done, I assume you'd wait one more to set out the next night so that you start it early in the night, not late in the night.
Yes.
Right.
When you go to see his coach, first of all, it is a nice coach. It is rather large. We're past the time of covered wagons. We're actually into proper coaches at this point, with shocks on them so you don't bounce as bad. Not great shocks, but they have them. But these horses, as he called them, are easily the biggest monsters of horses you've ever seen.
Mhm.
They are jet black. They have a malevolence in their eye that belies more intelligence than you would expect, and they are fucking huge. You've never seen a set of horses this size in all your time.
Is there enough room in said carriage for Olga to bring her entourage?
Depending on how big of an entourage are you planning to bring?
Well, she has 5.
That might make it a little tight with 5 of you in there, plus
right, then.
Eve's bodyguard.
All right, then I will take then my lady's maid stylist
Mhm.
because I'm pulling pretenses that I am not able to see my reflection.
Mhm.
And then I will take one of my personal guards. I'll take Andre.
Okay.
I'm bringing Mario along.
Okay. It's going to get tight in there, but Mario and the actual, the ones that are mortals can actually set up on the outside of the carriage.
Mhm.
Yeah, of
Because there's
course.
not only the front seats, there's the seats that sit along the back side of the carriage where normally footmen would ride anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
I fully expect Mario to sit with the driver just for protection.
next to Tiberu, who's driving.
Mhm.
You notice he didn't bring anybody with him.
Mhm.
It's just him.
He's got a girl. He can probably meld at the earth.
And Snatcher has decided to travel light and only bring about like a dozen or so rats, just so he can disseminate some of his rats back into the fortress so that he can start having them interbreed and start getting rats settled there as well. Because he hasn't been there in a bit.
Okay. That's a smart plan in there for a Nosferatu.
Yes, it is.
And as you set off in this carriage, Tiberu is able to drive these horses at a pace you didn't believe possible. These things, they don't stop for rest. They run all through the night, nonstop. Come daylight, he stops somewhere. Sometimes you get to stop at an inn. Sometimes it's just out in the woods. But whenever you stop in the woods, you realize that even though you're sleeping during the day, the large amount of wolves that seem to be around the coach is performing duty during the day to watch over everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Tiberu does go to ground each day,
Mm-hmm.
as you would expect.
If need be, Gwen will turn around and do Defense of Sacred Haven inside the coach.
That's up to you. I mean, there's enough wolves that you should get warning at least if anyone was going to try to sneak up.
This
How many
also
nights
helps with
was-
sunlight.
The trip out there, oddly enough, takes 4 days. Twice as fast as you would expect.
Yes, because it would be a solid week
Yes.
of travel.
But as you're going up the road to the mountain fortress that you once helped build, the road is just as treacherous and winding as you remember it.
Mm-hmm.
There are times where there's a yawning abyss right outside the window, mere inches away. And Tiberu does not slow down. Even on this mountain pass, the horses are going at a breakneck speed. Sometimes the coach actually feels like it's tipping up on 2 wheels as it cuts around corners. But the whole way you can hear wolves in the distance each night. But as you approach the castle, it has improved since you were last here. It has formidable iron gates. It's well lit by torches. But as your coach gets close, you can hear the gates opening before you even reach it. And the steeds charge directly into the courtyard. And when the coach finally comes to a stop, you see, as you're looking out the window, Count Radu is illuminated by the torchlight right at the front door to the main keep of the castle. His clothes he's wearing right now seem slightly out of date for the era that you're in. It's more like the dress of a Saxon count from about a century ago.
Saxons.
And he calls out to you, welcome. Welcome to my home. It's a last refuge of the old ways of the Zemitzi. Welcome to Bistrus Castle. Please, please, come inside. wash the road off you, relax a little. Do you need sustenance? I can provide you with drinking vessels, of course.
That would be lovely. Count Radu, thank you.
And as you're brought inside, it's completely finished now.
Mhm.
It is well apportioned inside. It is luxurious, but at the same time, it is still a fortress of war, and you can tell.
Mm.
He does have a large number of guards that are circulating the walls. All of them seem quite active. There's no slacking at all in this particular place. And you were led to a series of bath chambers where the water has been heated over fires and then poured into the baths to make them nice and warm for a proper cleaning of the road off you. I will have drinking vessels brought to you, of course.
Of course.
And you are brought shortly after your bath ends. They're wearing rags. Most of them appear to be Turks.
Mm.
All of them are brought to you in chains
Mm-hmm.
for you to feed at your leisure on.
Have I been here before?
No.
No, you have
No.
not. You know that this coterie helped build this place, but you've never
Yes.
been in this place before. Though it does kind of remind you of your castle that you're in Belgrade, because this was also designed. The plans and the layout were designed by Zelios, the same one who designed most of the major castles in this country.
And Eve would know that Zelios is Snatcher's broodmate.
Right. He's admiring the architecture. Any paintings? He says it's mostly for war, but it's so well
there is
decorated.
Tapestries, a lot of tapestries showing battles. There's one of the actual keep here in the pass repelling a Mongol horde because it was instrumental in keeping the Mongols contained for a while. It did eventually. It fell to them, but not before it extracted a heavy price for it. There's various pictures of Radu painted up, of course.
Yeah, of course. I just lean over the Snatcher while we're getting washed. I do not like all of these paintings and tapestries that he has put up. They're obnoxious.
I mean, they're not bad.
No, they're pretty bad.
Snatcher will side eye to Augustine. Not enough cocks for your liking.
Oh, right.
You know, that could be an artistic rendering that would improve a lot of the decor here.
Shame I have no artistic talent.
And I'll just slowly turn towards Eve's.
And I slowly look away.
If only there was an artist among us.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
Is Eve actually getting distracted or Toreador distracted by the tapestries?
I'm a bit Toreador distracted, but
okay.
Around this moment, he wants to activate Shroud Sight. He's doing this as a habit now, seeing one thing one way and then the underworld way the other.
The underworld view of this place, the walls are cracked, damaged. There's holes in spots. The tapestries are all faded and frayed. The paintings cracked with age. It's the same way you always see things when you look through into the other side. Everything looks as if it's been abandoned for 100 years and just left to rot.
I guess just also piggybacking off of that, Snatcher would do a quick check for any ghosts, if there's any.
Inside the castle? Not a one.
Mm-hmm. Actually still makes sense.
This is a Zelios castle.
Mm-hmm. Nothing gets in or out unless he set it up that way.
That's right.
So when we initially set it up, when he first finalized everything, I remember, wasn't there also some ghosts that got trapped in as well as out? Like
I'm
that
sure
was
there was,
way
but
back
you
in
haven't.
season 1. But
But
Mhm.
at this point, you don't know where they would have gone. It's been hundreds of years, and ghosts do eventually disappear.
so these ones did at least. Gotcha.
Yes.
Do we still have access to that little cubby where we first spent our nights, our days?
The castle was built directly over it, which was the hidden vault that you had found that had the tablet that Gwen had copied.
Yeah.
The
Mm.
castle was built all over it. It's been incorporated into the underside of the castle itself.
Oh, okay. So that's not a secret that we know of. Like that's
No,
openly.
it was incorporated
accessible.
in because it was actually the foundations of a tower that once stood here, a Roman tower that was here before
All right.
you all set up.
Right. Okay.
We also held a bunch of meetings in that secret room, so it wasn't a secret for very long.
Right.
But once you're properly bathed, had a chance to wash the road off, one of his servants brings you a servant that is unnaturally beautiful, almost flawless skin, limbs a little too graceful, but they escort you to the library where Count Radu is actually sitting in a luxurious
I
antique
actually
chair.
wanted to inspect the specimens that were brought to us for feeding.
They all appear to be Turks captured.
Yes, I want to see just how broken they are.
Agreed.
Very broken, actually. They don't meet your eyes. They've been
What-
washed and kept clean, but it seems they've been fed on more than once and have been
Oh,
dealt with to keep them
What-
pliant. You would guess they've been heavily dominated repeatedly.
Do they speak Arabic?
They don't speak at all anymore. There was no subtlety in the dominate being used.
hmm.
Yeah, because she will have tried to speak to them in Arabic.
Yeah, she will take merely a sip from one because you do not refuse a Zamiti's hospitality.
No,
But she is not impressed by this offering.
Mm-mm.
But in the library, he's in a luxurious antique chair. When you come in, leaned back. You look much fresher now. I'm glad you had a chance to get the road off. I understand that when Tiberu drives the coach, it moves at a distressing speed sometimes.
It's quite exciting, really.
Exhilarating.
And
I
we
wanna do it again.
appreciated the reduction of time on the trip.
Oh, those are his special horses that he has been working on in my service.
So he has a breeding program for them.
A breeding program, and from time to time, my help.
Fascinating.
Well, please have a seat. I'm glad you managed to come here. I'd love to hear, frankly, how you managed to keep Belgrade from being taken twice. You've accomplished something that many in this torn land here have not managed to do. Repel the Ottomans when they come to your doors.
Well, the first time, there were 100,000 of them. And she looks to her cohort here and says, that was sheer ruthless efficiency that sent them running back home. The second time, they brought siege equipment.
The creation of these cannon and gunpowder and firearms seems to be changing the way war is being waged.
Oh, indeed. We had some help with that one.
Yes, I heard.
An army of Hungarians came to assist.
Yes, Janos
Yes,
broke the siege.
yes. Belgrade is an important city. It is the border. It is the wall that must stand for as long as it can to prevent the wave of Ottomans.
There must have been a reason that you pushed for us to claim it, yes?
Oh, yes,
To hold it, of course, and that's what we have done.
and you have done quite well, actually. There was more than just wanting you to hold it. I knew that in time it would become a center of trade and would put you all in a position, well, of power and prestige.
And it has.
You've done quite a bit better than some of what I've had to deal with. Bistrus has been overrun with these anti-tribute, these anarch rabble, screaming for the blood of their elders. I'm safe here. They can't take this place. The road alone will stop that.
It is unfortunate that you lost your city.
It is. But I will reclaim it in time. And time is the one thing we do have. We all have in abundance.
Indeed.
These young fiends can play their games. I have not survived this long without tricks to play of my own. Right now, they fight amongst themselves for the city while Mitru assaults from one side and the Danislav estates send their forces from the other side. I will let them play themselves out.
Mitru still walks. What a miracle.
He is particularly difficult to kill. And he extracts a heavy price for those who violate what he calls his territory.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't his territory burn down?
Yes, I helped you do it. He has learned from that mistake, and now he doesn't play games anymore. He brings all of his children with him.
Oh, he is learning.
I guess you can teach an old dog new tricks.
I don't think it's a new trick. I think he's just reusing the same old tricks. It'll only work so far.
Indeed.
You know, how long do you think it'll be before the Ottomans come back? They are a problem, and while this place is held mainly because even the Sultan doesn't want to march these mountains.
Indeed not. They will go all around them, but not through them.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the current Sultan has failed to take our city twice.
Not just your city, but everything beyond it made it. He couldn't advance any further. He would have left an enemy in his rear.
He's stuck until he takes Belgrade, or until they take Belgrade. Their empire cannot expand further into our territory until they take Belgrade.
Not without moving much further north or south.
Exactly.
To go around.
Exactly. And they really can't afford to do that. So, right now, being that the current Sultan has failed to take that city in conquest twice, he's no longer in favor. It likely will be some time until after the next Sultan takes his place and rallies his troops again. Perhaps if it's an effectual one, 20, 30 years from now. If he's not an effectual one, it may be a sultan or two after him before they finally muster enough to break through our walls and to capture our fortress.
My contacts tell me they won't give up.
No, they won't.
They are determined to control all of this.
Yes, they are. And
further west than that.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, I have my own contacts. And it is just a matter of time, but it will not be right now. I know quite a bit of war, and I know that they must repair the damaged reputation before they can muster more.
And I agree. That has been my own assertions on the issues. And as Radu stands up, I'm going to go to break right here. We will see everybody in 10 minutes. Please enjoy the break music. And for Astral's point, yes, it's only 10 minutes. Enjoy the break. We will be back. And welcome back, everybody. Before the break, the coterie has set to meet with Prince Radu, who I refuse to call by the nickname that Augustine uses, as we're not in the right era for that yet. And they were having a discussion not only of their defense of Belgrade, but the state of affairs in Bistrus, whether more Turkish invasions. And at this point, Radu has gotten up to walk around a bit. It's almost pacing. And there's no end to the threats from the Voivodate. It is a problem all around between the Turks and then the natural prolic. I can't talk tonight. The natural conflicts that my clan likes to do. Are you sure your city will hold for the long term?
Oh. Belgrade will hold as long as she can. We have reinforced walls. We have many tunnels. We have Azelios designed and built fortress. It will hold as long as she can.
I suspect even if your city falls, the architects' hidden areas should keep you safe.
Absolutely. And I will say, though, that being female under Ottoman rule is not appealing.
I've heard.
It would be very difficult for me to rule in the ways I do under their rules. However, the city itself will remain, I dare say, well into the future, no matter what mortals control it.
It is uniquely situated on the river there to ensure trade is always important, which...
Keeps a city alive.
Yes, it does. Even the Ottomans won't destroy it totally because they wish the trade as well.
They do.
And the influence that comes with it.
The influence that comes with it. We have grown quite wealthy from that little fort on the river.
I heard you even got hold of some of the siege cannons. That alone should have cost the Sultan quite a bit of political capital. Those things are not easy to get and are quite expensive, even for the Ottomans. You were going to say something?
Yes, they're quite fascinating. It's like a volcano that can erupt on command.
Spews death.
Yes.
Yes, but they had to climb our walls because those siege engines weren't enough to penetrate our walls.
No.
And certain tactics didn't work as well the second time. I found a mortally wounded soldier from the Turks, embraced him, and he provided us with a wealth of education on their strategy.
Very useful, this man, yes.
Yes, very. And they certainly had some Assamites and Setites amongst their numbers. They did burn quite exquisitely when we rained fire on them as they were retreating.
And Radu's eyes cut over to Gwen. I know you are Toreador. What?
Aye.
Look, I will be honest with you. I've known your secret for quite a while. Do you not have some sway in your clan to keep their deprivations at bay from your city as well?
Does a pebble have a sway in the ocean?
So your clan is much like mine at times.
Aye. However, I will say this. You don't know my home country at all, do you?
The furthest I've gotten that direction was Constantinople.
Oh, I'm talking where I was born.
No, I don't go out much further than Hungary to the west.
Irish remember every time we're invaded. They don't understand the Irish ways at all.
Yes, the people I came from ran amok in your land.
Aye, we remember. And, well, being that these people have no idea of how the Irish are, shall we say, rather vicious.
Oh, indeed.
Let's just say there was a bit of Irish ingenuity in our defense.
Yes, it was Peregrine who remembered and designed our tunnels. They are treacherous, but very good at protecting what it needs to protect.
Well, forgive me if I say I am hoping you don't spread that knowledge too far to some of the other cities. It would make inter-clan politics difficult for Clan Zemitzi.
I haven't spoken to any of your clan, actually. So there you go. How's that?
I actually like that. We
Thought
don't
you would.
need any particular sides able to dig in any deeper than we already are.
Would you like a sample tactic for the next possible siege?
You don't get many sieges up here. I will, to be fair, the next time I'll need a siege tactic, I may be the one doing the siege to take back my city. But I am always willing to hear options. I'm not a war-going man by nature.
It is quite an approachable task, whether through one of your clan or Tiberu, perhaps, anyone who can influence and speak to animals. Simply have rats infiltrate enemy ranks and eat their food.
No.
A simple
army-
tactic.
An army that cannot eat. What is it I heard once said? An army travels on its belly.
Mhm.
It does indeed.
The big problem is they also forage from all the people around them.
As is common in war.
I've heard a successful tactic has been to burn the crops as your people flee to force larger trains of supplies to be brought to their armies on the front. That has been slightly useful against the Ottomans at times.
Unfortunately, it is as you have said, Radu, that these are tactics for when you are fighting an incursion. You wish to take your city back, I would not recommend you destroy its food or its sustenance.
No, I think when the time comes to take my city back, I'm going to have to target the anti-tribute that were in there.
Gather allies.
Yes.
Allies I have, but as you well know, Clan Zemitzi doesn't, even your allies don't always assist with problems like these.
Hmm.
It is part of the short-sightedness, I think, of my clan.
Speaking of that, there are some that are incredibly short-sighted about a certain revenant.
And he actually gestures to a painting on the wall. It is a painting of a man with long, dark, black hair, patrician's nose. You've all seen this painting before. This is Vlad Dracul, or Vlad Dracula. Vlad Dracul was his father. Yes, that comes to the meat of this discussion. There's some things that must be done about this upstart Dracula.
I mean, his line did spawn from Basarab. What do you expect?
Well, yes.
Mm.
I mean, let's cover the important parts of this discussion on that. Obviously, Clan Zemitzi is torn about what to do now that he's been released from prison. There are some who feel his crusade against the Ottomans should be supported while keeping him mortal. There are, of course, others who wish his destruction because of how many of the newly embraced fiends he destroyed last time he was prince.
Well, perhaps they shouldn't have, excuse me, but done things they shouldn't have.
And it was the younger ones who have been causing problems anyway.
Exactly.
But
I mean, do the elder fiends seem to think that they can corral these young rebels?
That's part of the discussion, you see. I mean, I see all the sides of this particular debate. One of them, to be mild about it, is Dracula is extremely devious. Maybe too devious to be controlled by an individual. And I'll be fair, I feel if he was embraced, he might be prone to abuse it. But he still is a magnificent leader. And he might be able to exert influence over the younger ones. He might be able to help control them. He might also exert the absolute authority he held in life over them.
What if he were to be tempered by Goldum? The bond is strong.
He's already one.
He is a revenant.
He's a revenant.
And he's still rambunctious.
Yes.
He's a Basarab. Or of their line.
He is also a man of particular will.
Mm-hmm.
He resists things that were supposed to be bred into that line.
That is dangerous.
And, well, some worry about his deviousness.
Is it truly deviousness? Or is it cunning?
The same thing, too.
Is he brilliant and people are afraid of it?
He is dangerous, no matter how you look at it. But then, let's look at the other part. Were we not to embrace him? What if one of the Saxon Ventru got hold of him and embraced him? Or, I mean no offense to you, Peregrine, what if one of the Assamites forced the son of the dragon into a blood oath to use him as their pawn?
That indeed would be very interesting to see what happens.
It would also mean the Ottomans would have free reign over this place, over the entire country. Because, let's be fair about things, if we can't get the mortals to defend their southern border of Transylvania, everything we've tried to build in the last 300 years will be gone. The Ottomans will destroy it all.
Yes, this incursion is far more painful for your clan than any others.
He is one of the only mortals to have had success against them.
Mm-hmm. Didn't he spend some time in Constantinople?
Yes, he was also in the Sultan's court for quite a bit of time. They trained him in the arts of war while he was a hostage. They also trained him in the arts of torture, in the arts of brutality.
So he's using their tactics against them.
Yes. Even his infamous feast of steaks was not something he didn't learn from them in the first place.
Right.
So you get the point of, we could keep him alive. He might be able to.
What does he want?
That's
I know that doesn't matter. He's a revenant. But
Well,
just
it does,
indulge
but
me.
doesn't. It is. We need to first figure out the plan before we approach him on it, you see?
Leave him be. Let him do it. I say this. Leave him be. He's thinking like a human. He's dealing with things and he's handling his own thing better than any of you. No offense. But at the same time, he's using their tactics against them. He is becoming a menace to them. Leave him be and watch the chaos and everything that is stirring against him to them. On top of that, think of it this way. If you absolutely have to embrace him or whatever, do it after this, because then you show that he's not only got the metal, but he knows exactly how to wield and use the power to handle your little young ones. Because right now, who's handling them? Nobody.
I am of the opposite mentality, unfortunately. I feel like Radu has brought up a good point. If they do not embrace him first, someone else could come up and snatch him and turn them against the Simitsi.
You're then turning fate on its head.
The thought of Aventru embracing him.
I'm not sure Aventru would survive him.
Aventru wouldn't have the power nor the strength to do it. We all know it.
There are some.
Aventru by themselves, no, but they have allied themselves with the usurpers.
True.
That is also something to figure into it all. And then you have the other question. If we do as you say, Peregrine, and we leave him be, at least in terms of the embrace, do we put our support behind him? Do we lend our unnatural abilities to aid his crusade? Or do we step back and attempt to let him handle it himself? Because if we put what support we can, we could probably help tip a balance one way or the other.
Is he not relevant of yours? Why would you not support somebody that you've brought up and groomed? It would be foolish if you didn't.
See, but that goes back to the issues we're having with some in the clan wish him to be flat out destroyed.
That's
He's
because
too
they're being
dangerous.
idiots. No, you think about it this way. You've got the tool in your hand, and why are you not using it? Why are you not backing him up? And at the same time, at the end, reward him. But at the same, with all of this being going on, utilize him to the best of your abilities. Who gives a fuck if he gets embraced by anything? You're turning around and putting in if, then, when, what situation before anything else happens. Well, you got a fucking war around your hands.
I agree with you. He would make a great tool or leader in that case.
All weapons are dangerous.
Correct.
You must know how to wield them.
Look, I am, obviously, as a diplomat, I am only talking all the sides to make sure we all understand the
of course
aspects that are coming with this.
The embrace might give him new insight into how to deal with these problems as well. That we don't understand the man.
Would also make him, he's already a brilliant commander on the battlefield and a terror in his own right. The embrace would also make him even more effective in combat.
I think it's more of the fact if you don't know and there's too many there are too many things in play that may or may not work. He's working now. He's doing what he needs now. Why fuck it up?
But can we trust a man who butchered thousands of Transylvanians with power granted by the blessings of Cain?
It's not as if it would be the first time.
Wouldn't be the last either.
Correct.
Really, let those without sin cast the first stone.
Don't you have a moon touched to help you with visions, Radu?
No, the clan of the moon, you'll find, they don't tend to enjoy this land for long periods of time. Something about the blood-soaked earth begins to
No, it is the
upset
demon.
them.
Kabbalah.
Oh, yeah.
It is the demon.
I find they crop up like weeds. You pull them and then they're gone for a while.
Mm-hmm. But no, I disagree with destroying him.
Yeah.
He is incredibly cunning. He is definitely ruthless.
Mhm.
I dare say I would be inspired. But I know better than to touch another of the Basarab line. I was able to secure Sherazina without any political incidents. I won't try my hand a second time.
I do agree with you. He should not be destroyed one way or another, whether he is embraced, left alone, given additional powers as one of our ghouls. It would be such a waste to destroy him.
At
and
least
that's
not destroy him, and then talk to the man. Find out what he wants.
You have heard what the Hungarians are saying, that he has changed.
In what way?
Well, from their point of view, he converted to Christianity, and I am sure that means he must have become a better person. And as Radu says that, he smirks a bit. But
You do realize I'm a canonized saint, yes?
yes,
All right.
and you burned an entire town to the ground. So,
Oh, that wasn't the first time. I burned an entire people to one man before that.
but you were not a canonized saint then.
No, but why do you think they canonized me? Because I brought Christianity to Kiev. That is why. Because I knew it was good for trade.
Yes, I'm not sure he's changed, which is part of the reason for this meeting. If he has changed and he no longer suits our purpose, better a dead martyr than a failure as a leader if you've changed that far, right?
If
Wait,
he
are
has
you-
embraced the orthodoxy, has he abandoned your purpose?
Wait, did you summon us here to test him?
No, I summoned you here.
Okay, good, because that I think is beneath us.
No, it's
No
not
offense
to
to
test
you.
him. You see, this debate we're having is not really theoretical in nature. In a few weeks, it is going to become a reality.
Yes, Otto's meeting.
His meeting,
Mm.
it does promise to be not only memorable, but important because of prominent Canite princes and courtiers are expected to be there. Also, Prince Otto has a liberal attitude when it comes to the silence of the blood. He's encouraged his guests to bring any mortals they wish to introduce to Canite society, and a faction of my clan from Western Transylvania has decided this is the opportunity to introduce Dracula to us all.
Ah, I
That makes sense.
see. So he's literally going on trial.
I would rather him not. That is why I wanted to have you here. Let's put my cards on the table here. I am unfortunately unable to attend the meeting because if I step foot out of my castle here, the anti-tribu will pursue me, hunt down my carriage, and destroy it in any way they can. So I would like for you all to travel to Hermstadt. I'm sure you already knew this meeting was coming, and you are welcome to it as powers in your own right.
Yes, we did get the invitations.
But I would like you to also be my proxy to speak for me.
Then what is your opinion?
I think you should speak to Dracula, see his feelings on the matter, invite him to come back here so that we may speak with him as well. And while you are doing that, I will exert my influence on the Western Fiends to gather support for whatever comes of the meeting other than destruction. I will not support his destruction. Whether he wishes to be embraced or not, if he wishes it, that'll be his choice.
Would you do it?
If I can, I may have to trade to get the support we need to keep him from being destroyed, in which case I may have to give that honor up to another of my clan. But one way or another, Your presence alone should stop him from being destroyed out of hand at this meeting. Between your voices and mine, few kindred will try to openly defy us, especially given your current status as your city being one of the few who held, and my status as been here long enough to be owed enough favors that I could call in even Micah Vikos and his large sums of cash to buy entire armies to cause them problems if they defied us. And then, of course,
Has he left Constantinople?
yes, he has, but he also got out of there with quite a bit of his wealth.
Of course he did.
He'd been squirreling it away a very long time. It also gives you a chance to speak with him during your trip back here to find out his positions on the embrace, and if you are so inclined, to convince him of the benefits that come with being one of us.
I feel a revenant would be aware of such benefit.
He has spent a good portion of his life not aware of what he is. He was taken at a very young age.
He just happens to think he's blessed.
That is it exactly. I don't think he's aware at all of the revenant line, much like his father was not aware. But he had spent, well, most of his youth in the Ottoman Empire as a prisoner. And then once again, in prison in the Hungarian capital. He
As
just
part of-
thinks he is uncannily quick.
As part of speaking to him, should we bring him fully in the know?
He already knows.
He's been he's been destroying vampires.
His father had an advisor, one of the traveling clan of the Romani, who told him what we were.
But he is not aware of his line.
No, you can
Yes.
reveal vampires without revealing our breeding program that has continued for centuries.
Us.
Do the Zamisi elders, the ones who are calling for concern, saying, oh, he has destroyed Zamisi in the past, have they forgotten your clan's philosophy?
No, but they do find it upsetting when a mortal is the one killing us. We prefer to kill each other.
I only ask because ever since we were brought to this land, it has always been that if a Zamisi could not hold what they had, they never deserved it.
Correct.
That is true.
And I find that having exception for humanity to be a great way to devalue the threat humans can be.
I also think they take exception to some of the ways he destroyed them, impaling them on a stake for the sun to come out. I think upset more than one.
I mean, it's effective.
And he did learn from the Ottomans.
Yes, he did.
I tell you what, think on this. I will retire to my study to allow you all to discuss it. Just have one of my servants come get me
Of course.
when you have decided.
One question for you.
Of course.
He's a reverend, eh?
Yes.
Does he have children?
No. He did marry
He has
one
no
of the
issue.
Hungarian noble women, but no children.
Is
As
he
part
still
of the-
wedded?
Aye.
I don't know the answer to that one. I haven't heard. He wedded while he was imprisoned by the Hungarians. And I have heard nothing of her since that time. Whether she is still in Hungary waiting for him to return to his homeland, or whether he travels with her, I doubt my clanmates would bring her to this meeting. Again, short-sighted.
Short-sighted about a lot of things.
Yes. But please have your discussion free of any snooping on my part. You have my word as a guest of my hospitality.
It is appreciated.
Thank you.
And he turns and leaves from the library to leave you all to have your discussion.
Oof.
I'll be damned. Snatcher says in English.
And Peregrine will go, yeah, I think we ordered him completely in English.
I don't like this one bit.
A convoluted mess.
What are your concerns, brother?
This pits us against whatever went through, whatever Simitsi are looking to kill Vlad Dracula. If we side with Radu and his associates, we're choosing our side in this war of clans.
Indeed. Indeed.
Is
I
Radu
agree.
strong enough to continue being an ally to us? Is the question.
Radu plays a fop, but he is cunning. And cunning men are known to survive. As much as cunning women.
And while his power was reduced, it was not eradicated.
It was
and
not eradicated, and he still is owed favors.
And I believe there's topics that he has access to that we are not aware of.
I will say, Radu is also willing to go against these. Do we tie our horse to him, or do we side with idiots that wish to destroy what could possibly be the best Zamitsi in an age?
Oh, I don't think this man should be destroyed at all.
No, the
Agreed.
Zamesi would be fools to leave him.
A mortal
As
that can
he is.
destroy vampires is
And-
so worthwhile.
If he
That
is going to
willpower.
be present at this meeting, irrelevant if he gets embraced at this meeting or not, which I doubt he will, wouldn't it behoove us to be looked upon favorably by the best Zamitsi in an age?
They would.
That is my position on this. I know he is a threat. He is a threat to Zamitsi that can't hold things if he were to move against them.
Correct.
He is a threat to anyone intimidated by his tactics, his cunning, and his control.
And by similar token, weren't similar concerns levied with us at one point?
Absolutely.
Fear of power does not stop it from amassing.
Exactly.
Just whatever happens, that clan's power is going to be, something's going to change
And
drastically.
So many of their childer are going against them. My former
Yes.
domator has fallen to her childer. The one who taught me how to commune with the land. The one that had me start my own revenant line. The Rurkstan line that currently rules as princes of Moscow. Thank fuck. Hachalda didn't come from the line I created. She was intimidated of all of us. She sent them far away to hope they die out.
there is also a concern that it seems the Zamisi have not even considered in that if an embrace is not offered, he could take it.
Oh, he will.
A human that can destroy them so easily,
Oh, he
can
will.
easily obtain a captive.
Oh, absolutely.
Correct.
And he will if he must. If one does not give it to him willingly, he will take it.
So it seems our only true goal is advocacy and keeping him alive.
Yes. Let it play
That-
out, because he will be the best Samitsi in an age. Perhaps the best ever.
He will need to be taught how to commune with the land.
I'm sure he will learn.
He is not one of these flesh crafters, I don't think.
No, he is not. He is what all these old world wish they could have become.
I consider that a crutch to them.
Hmm.
But like, you have control over the land.
I do. A
That
bit.
is
Not
a
as much as
frightening-
not as much as a skilled Khaldun. But
He could become a force of nature.
absolutely he could.
And still instill the terror of his clan, regardless of his talents.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen what he can do while mortal.
Mm-hmm. I've been
All
damn
and terror.
impressed.
I'm looking up at this portrait, just been glimpsing at it. And
It is a portrait that will become famous in history. It is the one everyone thinks when they see him.
despite what everyone is saying about him, his strength, and praising him, he's still, though revenant, human. And there is a weak point. And him not knowing that revenant line, believe he is gifted. I am afraid to reveal if that was the spark of faith to himself. If that were to be revealed, I do not want that to be crushing down. That willpower that's Radu has spoken of to overcome some influences. I'm just believe. What if his belief, his true belief that he's born from God or whatever is in his mind, and we reveal what is truly behind the curtain, would that fall? Or should we just let him believe, even after embraced?
It is not on us to educate a revenant on what they are. That falls on the
Yes.
Zamitsi.
And
May not be us, but someone.
But it just means that he is able to realize what he truly is and grow from there.
Also true.
And if such a revelation were to cripple his mind, then he was not the gem of the Zmisi that people assumed.
Exactly.
True.
He would be destroyed anyway.
It is often about proof of worthiness with that clan.
Absolutely.
You must constantly prove yourself. Different from, and he gestures to Augustine and Olga, different from the La Sombra, of course.
It is a similar concept, but we take a
Yes.
different approach.
As you can see, I've never had much time with that clan, but over the years with you, it's become a little bit more familiar.
Yes, they are distinct,
Very much so.
very covetous. Truly.
A dragon,
Exactly.
very much.
And there's
Very much
also a brutality to them.
There can be, but also it is part of the land.
Mhm.
The further east you go, the more brutal the land is. It's harder to survive, even as mortals.
They are reflections of the land they grew up in.
Yes,
Which is to say, blood-soaked and harsh.
and
And
harsh.
blunt.
We are not like you Westerners that have your cities so gleaming and full of arts and the culture. And no, I grew up in little more than a village. It was hard.
The,
And
the
my
ch-
my son, my grandson, created an empire. By unifying disparate tribes of people. We did not have the luxuries. We had to create from the ground up. And it was hard fought.
With regards to this Dracula, I will bend to yours and Peregrine's perspective. You were ghouls long before you were embraced, and therefore you have a knowledge that I could never comprehend about the way that he has been raised and brought up.
I will say it is difficult for me to speak on what the Ottomans have done to him from his early years. That is some serious conditioning. They basically created their own monster. Because as soon as he was released from captivity, he was going to turn it against them.
Of course.
But, because they are idiot men as well. But anyway, I will say for myself, it was a blessing to be groomed. When I struggled to bear a son for my husband. My dominator was able to heal me so that I could. And one was enough, survived to adulthood, became king. I was his regent because he was 3 when his father was murdered. I taught him the best I could. When I decided to convert to Christianity, because it would help us with trade and prevent Constantinople from bringing their soldiers to overtake our small but growing nation. He disagreed. He was firmly pagan. So he went and warred amongst tribes to try to unify them. He was far more militaristic. I raised my grandson while he was gone. After I had returned from Constantinople and been baptized. And I taught my grandson all about the Christian God. So that when he became king, he turned Rus into a Christian nation. And trade blossomed. The nation grew. Because we were no longer savages. We were cultured people. But being a ghoul, it was not always pleasant, of course. I had to bow to a will that was not my own at times, which made me champ at the bit a bit. It was wise of my domitor to pawn me off on Makata. It prevented me from going after her like her own child did. Gwyn has had a much different experience, though.
I wouldn't say that it was the best of lives. I wouldn't say it was the worst of them. But I find it funny that you guys think that us in the West were refined and cultured. We really weren't. We really weren't. I came from a small village. I was pawned off to the church.
You are not as young as him, and he's from France.
Aye, but here's the thing. Back when I was a wee child, we were culture. You go to the Irish Isles for the culture between mid 1600s all the way up to about 1800s, you know? But at the same time, the winds shift, people move, ideas change. But a goal is always a goal, no matter what time or age, and you are bound to the will of what you want. So here you are, doing what you have to do just to survive. I understand what he probably went through, more so than others. I was pretty much forced into fighting in the pits, fighting against fellow ghouls, non-worthy kindred that had to survive, or try to survive. Be pit up against your own friends and forced to kill them because that was sport.
For vampires' entertainment.
That's what I was. Nothing more, nothing less. When Fatima came to me, I was bound to fight and try and save my domitor. It was a blessing and a curse at the same time. It was a blessing that I was finally rid of him after 562 years. Well, I give or take 40. But at the same time, I got put into a world I wasn't ready for, and put into a clan that sure as hell wasn't ready for me. They didn't know what the hell to make up with the red-headed devil. They'd go down to Saudi Arabia and that isle. There's no redheads. I assure you of that. And I am a pagan. Still practicing too. So I could understand where he had to change and move, and how he had to use what he learned against his own enemies. I get it. Totally. That's why I'm telling you, at least I'm trying to persuade you all to let him live his life a little bit. Let him be a father. Let him have a family. Better than any of us. I never had one. Wasn't allowed to. Slave isn't allowed to do anything other than what their master bids. And that's what I was. Sometimes still am. Just a different master. Let's not make him a slave yet. Let him do what he needs to do first. No, Augustine, seriously. I was there when you were alive as a human.
He has been a revenant, comes from a revenant line. Like, he is already a slave.
He doesn't know it.
There is no say in his future.
Aye, there is always a say. We can have that say for him. Let him have a moment. You know what it's like to be a slave all your life? Never knowing what it is to be free.
No, you know this.
Then trust me when I tell you. Let him be. Let him do the things he needs to do. Let him be remembered in history. I'm sure he will be. I mean, we got a fucking saint over here. So.
He's already referred to as the Impaler.
Exactly.
Yes.
Let him live a life. And when it comes down to him having to die or continue on, then give him the choice. Let the man fucking live. For fuck's sake.
It's not as if any of us need to feed him blood.
Yeah, yes, it's true.
Right.
This is, in many ways, the Zamisi's issue, their problem to handle. Unfortunately, the way that it's being handled is they pulled all of us to help.
Yes.
Of course they did, because they can't agree amongst themselves.
Or perhaps they simply recognize superior minds.
Ooh,
That would
that
be a
idea.
first.
That's a bold one.
That would be a
I like-
first.
Right?
I admire the tenacity with which you defend this man's position to live his life, but I do not think that he has that freedom. Our best choice is to let him be embraced.
I'm not
Anything other than
saying-
that is going to be death. I guarantee this for you.
I get it. I know what you're saying.
Bring it up. I am not telling you not to fight for what you believe in. I'm just letting you know I will not stand with you when this decision comes down.
I know. I know.
I will push for him to be embraced.
I'm not. I know eventually he's gonna.
We do not have to
Something.
present a unified front.
We do not.
It may
We
even
are
be better.
individuals that rule together. We rely on the strengths that each of us have to secure a border city. We do not become homogenous and like one. We are individuals. I see it as it is not my call whether or not Zamitzi embrace him now or later. I agree he does need to be embraced. But whether they do it now or later is not my call. It is not for me to dictate to Clan Zamitzi when they decide to embrace one of their revenants. However, the idiots that wish to destroy him need to be shut down. Because those idiots will doom their entire fucking clan. All because of their fear. And I understand fear can protect you, but it can also prevent you from your success if you let it.
One consequence of being so deeply tied to the land is it seems they have a very poor time of advancing.
Yes,
Politically, socially, any of it.
yes.
They hold so tight to their foundation that they cannot expand outward.
The West is trying to exert more influence on the East. I've heard of this group of Canaanites claiming to be Camarilla, I believe they call themselves.
Yes.
They will
Little-
not do well trying to assert their Western culture in these Eastern lands.
Yes, my queen, Helen, would very much like me to put those ideas forth in this land.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
She's all about courts.
Yes. Pomp and circumstance and
Which I do
luxury.
appreciate. But I've come to learn that this is not the land for it, and it's not going to thrive.
No.
No.
It would be the equivalent of me bringing the governance from my original home.
Yes.
The structure of Mithras would crumble and die in this place.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
Ah.
It would be actively murdered in this place.
I do not need to see that man again. Oh no. Oh.
Witnessing Mithras is something to note, but
is an
it's
experience.
I
his
believe we are-
philosophies.
I
Ugh.
believe we are all in agreement that Dracula here doesn't need to be murdered or killed.
Oh yes.
Agreed.
Then I will inform the servant that we are ready to give an answer to Radu.
If nothing else, our opinions may change once we actually speak with him.
Indeed.
That's a very strong personality. That's might come to like him immediately. Who knows?
The servant outside the door is that same beautiful but obviously shaped a bit woman that was there before. She leads you over to a study. When she opens the door, inside is Radu sitting in front of a man that's sitting on a footstool, remaining absolutely still. And on the far wall is a picture of Julius Caesar. And it appears Radu is currently sculpting this young man's face to try to make him look like Caesar. And when you come in, oh, forgive me. I was meditating. Art, I find, helps clear my mind a bit. And he takes a sheet and throws it over the mortal that's sitting there. And he turns and stands. Have you and your friends made a decision?
Yes, we have decided that we universally agree that the Revenant should not be destroyed. However, we are not one person, we are 5. So we have some differing opinions about his pending embrace. But definitely he should not be destroyed. At least not until we speak to him and get to know him a little better.
Personally, I would, as it was brought up, his opinion on the matter, given what he's done and the will he's shown, I do not think a forced embrace would end well for those who did it.
Right. He has to want it. And if he wants it bad enough and it isn't given to him, he will take it.
I'm not sure how he would accomplish that, but as I said, I am not a master of war. So perhaps you have better information on that.
Yes.
But I'm glad
Premier
that you are
took it.
willing to do it. Excuse me?
Ramir took it.
Yes.
Aye.
Oh,
It will not stop this man. I guarantee it.
I am glad, though, that you agree on the not destroying him.
Yes.
Aye.
It is nothing but wasteful.
I think this land needs him. He is the right man at the right time for this land.
And I would
Talent
be
should be
happy to
fostered.
discuss some tactics with him. I think, Augustine, you might as well.
I would like to see what he knows.
Absolutely.
And Radu reaches down and pulls a ring off his finger and hands it to Olga.
And she takes it.
This bears my sigil and shows that you speak as my proxy for this upcoming meeting.
She will actually hand it to Augustine because it will fit his finger better.
Take it with a bow.
I will have Tiberu ready as horses on the morrow.
Very well.
For tonight, you are welcome to stay as guests in my castle.
We appreciate the hospitality.
I would love to give
most
you all a
kind.
tour. And I know it has been some years since you've been here, and I don't think you've been here when it is fully in its glory now.
That would be lovely.
I did
definitely
keep
be
the
interested.
chapel that you put in it.
Good.
But please let me take you and show you my humble castle. And he leads you to take you and show you the place that you all helped build. You only got to see the first level when you were building it. though you did have the plans for all of it,
Mhm.
but you now get to see it fully built. And it is definitely a Zelios creation. And as you all are settling in for your day sleep, right here, everybody, I think is a good spot to end Season 5, Episode 1 of Vampire Dark Ages, Glimpses of History, or as some people call it, the Transylvanian Chronicles. The coterie has met with Radu to have a rather important discussion about what was called the Dracula problem. Because this was a problem that many of the Cainites of Transylvania were discussing. And it's actually very important to have a decision made. I'd like to thank my players, you, the viewers. Welcome back to Season 5. We are deep into some important historical events right here. We are now having to deal with the Dracula. Will he be embraced? Will he not? Will he be destroyed?
The Dracula problem.
The Dracula problem. And a meeting that is going to have a number of prominent Cainites, not just from Transylvania, but from anywhere that can reach it in time. With this coterie being some of those prominent Cainites. And as this group has pointed out during the break that you all didn't get to hear, Radu tonight did not speak to them as lessers. He did not speak to them as those who owed him something.
He spoke to us as peers.
He actually spoke to them as peers and equals, treated them as on even footing with him. And for a vampire who has been around a lot longer than they have, they've come up in the world. Tonight for XP, let's go with, let's see, by default, everybody normally gets 3, but let's go with 5 for the opening session. Don't expect that every episode this season, but this is the opening session. Let's start with 5.
Benevolence.
Yeah. This is an important time, and important times mean important XP. Because your decisions and a lot of what's going on this season will have ramifications through history. Though I don't think the characters know it yet. The players, I'm sure, do. Please, everybody, join us on the Discord. In case you're wondering, the cast of this show comes from the Discord. The cast of all of our shows come from the Discord. And so you're aware, not every cast is full of people we play with a lot. Tomorrow night, you're going to see a show that has somebody new to the channel playing with us. Because I like to include at least one new person when I can. Can't do it for every stream, but I try to include a new person when I can because how else do you get to play with them? So definitely join us on the Discord. And not just do we do casting from there, we have a good community. We like to hang out and talk. We do Zoom chats when we don't have Friday or Saturday night streams, which we just had one last weekend. It's going to be a few weeks before our next one. I'm not going to say when because that would spoil some shit. But trust me, it'll be a few weeks before we can have our next Zoom hangout. But they are coming, and they are coming back to be semi-regular at some point. We'll find out how. So please definitely do that. And we do play non-streamed games. It's been about a year since we got to do one. And I can tell you, it's going to be a few months before we can do another one because the schedule right now is crazy.
Packed.
Yep. And non-streamed games like Blood on the Clock Tower, we have to play on the weekends, and our weekends are fucked. Well, good content. So if you want to see our back episode, speaking of that content, hop over to our YouTube channel. We've got not just Vampire Dark Ages, we've just finished up a Mage new Chronicle first season. Before that, we had Changeling. We've got Demon, which is coming up after Dark Ages for the next, after this season is done, we'll be doing Demon. We've got Kansas City, which is Friday. We've got Hidden City, which is a Chicago game that's on Saturday nights. We've got 3 vampire streams going right now. One Dark Ages, one in just after Peterson's had fallen in Chicago, and one in Kansas City. So, we've got lots of World of Darkness content, and we've got non-World of Darkness content too. Trust me, we do a lot of things. And if you want to see some Call of Cthulhu or D&D 5e, go to London Esoteric Society's channel. You can get both of those right there. Okay. Our keeper of arcane lore, Tess, she does an amazing Call of Cthulhu game. So you should check it out. The players are trouble. They read all the books. They do all the things they're not supposed to, but it's good to check out anyway. So check that out. You want to see some amazing content creators? Check out our friends list up here. One of them, let's start right off, right under us with Judy Von Esch. This time she gets to say her own plug for her friend's channel instead of Shanky doing it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm on my own channel. I crochet. I do not knit.
I get them mixed up. I admit it.
It's
He does it to me all the time. Oh, you're knitting something? No, I'm crocheting something. I'm hooking, baby.
I'm hooking. I will forever hook. I will never stab with a needle. There's a difference. Always will be. If I ain't going like this, we're going like this. There's a difference. Anyhow, by the way, I do make my own shit on my channel because I was told if I strangle yarn, I will never be going into jail because I take out all my anger and frustration on any yarn. So I do that there. We just finished St. Jude. We got up to $500. So thank you for those that did help. I do appreciate it all. Also, I am also on this. Oh, there he is. I'm also on his channel as well, and I'm pointing to Augustine, who is also Ravenous Archon, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, rotating depending on what we're doing. And then every Saturday, I'm just gently torturing this gentleman over here, Snatcher, and this lovely lady over here, because Hidden City is a thing.
Yep.
Well, thank you. Go on to the Discord because you know when we go live.
Yep, that's one advantage of being on Discord. All of our friends, you get notified the moment they go live if you're on our Discord. Ravenous Archon, what you got going on for everybody?
Oh, hi, everybody. I have my own TTRPG channel here on Twitch where I run Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition, Werewolf of the Wild West, Scion 1st Edition, Legend of the Five Rings 4th Edition, and 7th. We just finished a 2-part miniseries of Tales from the Loop, which was a lot of fun. And I have something special for the end of the month if I can get a cast together for that. And otherwise, you can catch me here on Wednesdays as I've infiltrated all of the splats here. And a small stint on Fridays as I get to play Not the Worst Brother in Kansas City.
Well, the other one died.
I mean, technically, he's not the worst brother.
Though still you have La Sombra in the city, so...
He is one of the worst, but Kane is the worst brother ever.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to be a brother if you're an only child.
He solved that problem.
Yeah.
So definitely check out Ravenous Archon's channel. We've also got Mischievous Red. She is on our Kansas City game. She does her own creative stuff in video games. Here lately, it's always been creative, but her times are spotty because life, the bane of all TTRPG type hobbies and anything related to that. Life gets in the way, but if you're on her Discord, you'll know when she goes live. Rerolls, he's on break. I'm sure he'll come back eventually. And then you get to watch his. And DM Daddy RPG, who is right now streaming Hunter the Reckoning tonight. While we're streaming this, that is where Jenna Thieves, you can see her as Sunday Booth, who's amazing in Kansas City. She's over there. Great player, a lot of fun to play with. So you should definitely, check out DM Daddy RPG when we're done here. Now, you want to get you some studio merch? We've got studio merch. I don't think we have any for Dark Ages yet, but we've got studio buttons. We've got, all kinds of stuff. We've got Camp Wish a Motherfucker Wood t-shirts. We've got No Cowards Here from the Werewolf game. Red Rockets for Gaia, which it means just what it says.
And we got Cat's to-do list, which is kick ass, check. Take names, check. Be a dragon, check. Dracula, not checked. So we can't let Dracula die here because eventually he's got to go on Cat's to-do list.
It has to be canon.
Yeah, well, I mean, we technically already met the Kansas City cast because we kind of traveled. So
yeah, briefly.
Briefly.
You gotta think fourth dimensionally, guys.
Yep.
Spoilers.
Don't worry. If you all murder Dracula, I've got a solution to that. It's baked into Transylvanian Chronicles. It's all covered. Don't worry about it.
That was a body double.
Just like if somebody here decides to
flesh crafters, okay?
Right.
It was a body double.
Just like if somebody here
It was a
decides
body
to
double,
embrace
yeah.
him, other than being totally foolish by embracing him with the wrong clan, that gets solved too. Don't worry about
like
that.
I said, Olga would be tempted because he might make a damn good Lasombra, but he would make the best Zamitzi of an age.
Mhm.
Okay.
And the
It's not even
Zamitzi-
just meta knowledge. He's literally written that way.
Yeah, the Zamitzi would never, ever forgive that.
Never would. Never would.
They would blame all the Lasombra for it, not just her.
That would change history, all right.
That would change history. The Sabbat would never exist.
The Sabbat would be gutted before it ever came to be.
Yes.
No, it would be run by the Zamitzi instead of Lasombra.
Yeah.
And it would just be Zamitzi because nobody likes them.
So, and as always, everybody, bits of donations that go to the players, not to the studio. It's a way for you to give something to the players for all their hard work that goes into this, and the insanity of them having to put up with me the weekend before, the Sunday before the stream starts, posting up finally the time skip info. They have to deal with all that insanity because I'm the king of procrastination. I procrastinated procrastinating. So that's a way for you to support them.
Anxious.
Yeah, it's a way for you all to support the players. And if you want to support the studio, subscribe on Twitch. You get no ads. Hey, isn't that nice? But you can also pop over to our coffee because Twitch takes half. It's up to you. But money's tight. I know it's tight. It's tight for a lot of people, us included. So if you want to support the studio without costing you any money, go to our YouTube channel, like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification icon, do all those. And it helps increase our searches in the algorithm there. And that also means that, more people review, which helps out. We don't make much off the YouTube. Trust me. We don't get nearly the views to make a lot of money on it. But we make enough it would help offset a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And for those wondering, I do post up yearly state of the studio when we do our taxes that shows you exactly how unprofitable the studio can be. So you can go do that. And now my wife can give our rather busy schedule this week.
Yes. So thank you all for joining us tonight. And tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, join Shanky and his crew of morphs.
That's their bodies. The egos of their brains.
Egos and
just call them
morphs.
transhumans.
Transhumans. Yeah.
Well, hang on. No, one's an orangutan.
So not human.
And one's a digital
Or an
life.
octopus.
Or an octopus. So just basically, join him as he runs the start of a new miniseries of Eclipse Phase. Okay. It's a very cool, transhumanism type game, sci-fi, where it basically, the story revolves around when you can basically be immortal because you can change your body anytime you want to whatever you want to be. What's really you?
And when you can copy your mind, which mind
Is you.
is you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's going to be deep.
Do you lose yourself in that process?
It's going to be deep, everybody.
Mm-hmm. So that's 8 p.m. tomorrow's kicking off. And then Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Kansas City, Domain Divided, Season 5, Episode 9. Y'all,
Time to put somebody to sleep.
time to put the eldest to night-night.
Couldn't have happened to a better Eldritch Horror.
I know, right?
Amorphous blob.
Amorphous blob is what he is.
Same thing.
Yeah. Literally, time for him to go night-night. So, yeah, that should be fun. Join us. I'm sure. We've got the willing sacrifice, the unwilling sacrifice. What could go wrong?
Something new, something old, something borrowed. We got it all covered.
Something blue.
Yeah, it's gonna be intense. So join us Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern for that. And then on Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Junie is back with her crew of folks for Hidden City. It is a Chicago circa 2010-ish. Actually, we're getting into 2011 now in season 2. And we are coming up on the convention of Chicago. So join us as we kick off season 2 at 8 p.m. Eastern, Saturday. And then we'll be back here on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern for this fucking Prince Otto's meeting where we discuss the fate of the Revenant Dracula.
That wasn't the purpose of the meeting, but
That's going to be the purpose of the meeting.
there's some
It's gonna be the
Zamitzis who
main
decided
focus
it
of the
was a good
meeting.
Yeah.
idea.
Elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Dragon in the room.
And for those that watched Kansas City last week, expect to see a cameo appearance by somebody that was in a character, not a player, that had a discussion with the courier last week in Kansas City. They're going to be at this meeting too. So you definitely want to check that out. Now, as we're ending this stream here, everybody, we always end this the same way. Mental health, it's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. Please take your mental health seriously and take the mental health of others seriously. I want you to check in on those around you, make sure they're okay, because a lot of people are not. And sometimes it just takes kind word, somebody, a willing ear to listen, that'll help somebody out. And if you suffer from mental health issues, I want to first of all tell you it's okay to not be okay. There's nothing wrong with admitting you need help once in a while. We all do. Nobody can get through life by themselves. And I'd like you to reach out to your own support network. But if you can't, in chat's a list of numbers you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There'll be a professional on the other end of the line that'll help you out. And if you are in crisis, please contact those numbers. And while I don't expect you to be in crisis while watching this stream, if you're not watching it and you're in crisis, go to findahelpline.com, put in whatever country you're in, and you'll find your own helplines in that country. Because, look, mental health is health. And please take care of yourselves. And now I can turn it over to my lovely wife for her portion of her fire and brimstone outro.
Please do take care of yourselves. Your mental well-being is very important, and so is your physical well-being. Get your vaccines, get your fucking, sunshine when you can. Make sure you're wearing that SPF. Take your meds, drink your water. Take care of yourselves, y'all, for real. And also, take care of one another. Really. You don't get through this life all on your own. Take care of one another. And literally cause good trouble where you can, because fuck the fascists, fuck the patriarchy, fuck the religious fanaticism, and fuck the intolerance of everyone who just happens to be different than what they are. And if you support that shit, fuck off. Because the rest of us got to create some good trouble to get things moving, hopefully in a better direction as soon as possible. It's going to be a long road, but we got to keep working at it. But make sure you look out for each other. Be aware of what's going on in your area. ICE raids are increasing. Protect each other. Protect your neighbors. Okay? Because we got to look out for each other if we're going to get through this. Call your senators. Call your congressmen. Just give them hell. Give them hell. Even if they're Republicans, call them, give them hell. It's what we can do. Protest if you're inclined to. Just be safe about it, please. Please be safe. And we'll get through this together. It's a long road. It's a hard road. But fascism always loses, y'all. It always does. So, that said, with all sincerity, y'all please have a good night.
Yep. And just so everybody knows, I'm setting up right now to raid DM Daddy RPG real quick, as soon as I can find it right here. It's been so long since I've done a raid.
Can't help but wonder, those hunters are probably going through a reckoning.
Yep.
Oh.
So here we go. I'm going to start the raid and fade us out.
And descend on them like rats.
Ah, yes.
Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.